Have you ever been in a downward spiral and you don't know how to get out? And you're just like, your life might be getting out of control. You're feeling overwhelmed or lost, but you have no clue how to get out? This video, we're going to discuss a simple 3-step formula how you can go from a downward spiral to an upward spiral and stay in the upward spiral with exactly the same formula. This is because this happened to me this week. And I went into my Sacred Alignment Academy and we had a super open, vulnerable conversation about it. This is a snippet of that conversation. So enjoy. I've been quite through the ringer in this week when it comes to emotions, when it comes to going down into certain levels of sadness and overwhelm. There has just been a accumulation of doing a lot of things and the feeling like nothing's really working. And I was not knowing where it came from. But there were moments throughout this week where I was so overwhelmed, I just simply couldn't work anymore, or at least it didn't feel natural to work anymore. I just needed to meditate and wait until the energy somehow got lighter for me to go back to work. And literally today, I got the answer to it. And this answer has everything to do with having an emotional turnaround. How can you go from a downward spiral where you have the feeling like you're just going backward and things are getting more out of control into a place of actually moving back into an upward spiral, and do that in a way without bypassing, do that in a way without anything non-healthy. Just really be very respectful for yourself while you're going through that motion of downward and upward spiraling. So I want to jam on that and I want to play with that in this session. Would love to discuss it with you. I would love to discuss what I went through, and then let's just have a conversation about it. Let's just dive into that topic and see what comes through. I didn't prepare anything. I will just flow and just play. That was also the guidance that I got from the records. The final breakthrough happened when we did the practice session today, where we asked on a formula. And this formula was about how to live in the highest alignment with your purpose and your soul mission. Can you give me a simple formula? And when they gave me a simple formula, a big part of the formula they gave me was about playing. And as soon as they said playing, I realized how hard I have been on myself and how much rules I had placed on myself just for getting better or developing or feeling that I have success. But actually, that was one of the major factors while I was actually spiraling down. So I'm going to connect with the records so their energy is with me, even though I don't know if I will channel them directly. And then let's just go into this topic a little bit deeper and truly understand what is, what happens, what can we do to always being able to catch ourselves from going down and placing ourselves back into a state of power and play and inner peace. So let me connect. Okay, let me just start with what happened and what I have been seeing. There is this energy in me that was constantly striving to do more, to produce more videos, to be more active in the communities, to have a certain list of habits that I wanted to complete every day. Very maybe personal development, high achiever kind of style that is just like, oh, I want to meditate and do yoga and do breath work and do qigong and read 10 pages and make sure I continue with my course and make sure I continue with my music. And there was just a whole list of things that I wanted to check off every day, like way more than was possible. But somehow I didn't see it was this ridiculous amount. And I was also not seeing how much of it was. I don't know if I could even do it in a week. The list that I have, I don't know if I could do it in a week. And I don't see how much I was judging from not completing. Up until today, I was not seeing that. And that's why my life kind of put me into a emotional intense period where I felt lots of overwhelm, where I felt I couldn't do very much, where I felt like, oh my God, what am I doing? You know, like what is going on? I'm supposed to be a teacher on this and I'm not able to do this, right? Like all of these judgments came up. And the only thing that I now know how to do is to meditate and ask God for lightness and ask God for understanding and an increase of my awareness. And with God, I mean every being that I can talk to that is also closer to God. So the Akashic record keepers, archangels, angels, and my guides. I was connecting with them like, what am I here to do? And they were constantly giving me guidance that took me to the next step. They didn't completely give me the full picture, but they gave me the next step. And that was nice. That is always nice. I don't know what I would have done without this kind of guidance. I really feel like, oh my God, you know, I'm so blessed that this is part of my life because that guidance comes from a place that is not affected by these emotions. So that still is able to communicate clearly with me what the energy needs to be. But in that process, yeah, sometimes I just needed to meditate. And in that meditation, one of the things that I felt in that meditation, the first one that I did, was that months ago I received a mission to start creating loads of meditation. And I loved it. I was so full of excitement. It put like it hit multiple things that I wanted to achieve in one single thing. I was like, oh yes, I'm gonna make every week a meditation and I'm gonna put my own soundtrack on it. And every week I will get better in making sound healing music. And, I was so stoked. And I put it in my calendar like, okay, these days I'm gonna work on my meditation. And I haven't done a single one. And I saw that while I was asking, like, God, what do you want me to do? I was in that overwhelm. I was like, where do you want me to be? What do you want me to do? And then I just heard very clearly, remember that you had this guidance and that you didn't follow up on it. And I was like, oof, yes, that's so true. And then it gave me a very simple solution. It said meditate and then create a meditation. Meditate and then create a meditation. If you just do that, you get back into this mission. So that was the first step. And I started creating meditations. I started creating digital meditations since that was 2 days ago. So I started creating a digital meditation on the Tuesday. Still need to finish it, but it's almost done. I created two meditations yesterday live in person, one in the morning for friends that came for a brunch. Before that, we meditated together, and one in the evening where I needed to facilitate the ceremony. So since the guidance 2 days ago, I already created new meditate, and that put me a little bit more into a kind of upward momentum, but it didn't feel like upward. It felt more like the downward spiral stopped spiraling downward. It just felt okay. I have something to do again because I was completely lost and I didn't know what to do anymore. So I was in that state of it started to feel neutral. And then today we did our Akashic record practice, and we are currently asking a question every day, as you know. And the question was, wants to now, what is a formula? Can you give me a simple, understandable formula that is in alignment with my current purpose and my current soul mission? And I got this formula, which was success is play times and then consistency, and then in brackets, what was it? Meditation, exercise, communication. And after that, they explained you don't have to be consistent in these 25 things that are on your list. That's way too much. And because you're judging when you don't complete it, you put yourself in a downward spiral. So they showed me very clearly a pattern that I was doing, I don't know for how long, but it was subconscious. And now I'm like, wow, how, like, I'm seeing it so clearly now. I'm like, how could have that been subconscious? It's ridiculous what I asked of myself. That's way too much. Like if I want to do that and set up a business and also still have a life, I just need 48 hours in one day. I cannot complete all of that in one day. So it was absolutely ridiculous what I asked for myself. But they said only do these three things: meditate, do some form of exercise. They also said exercise will make your body happy. Meditate will make your mind clear. With a clear mind, you can receive the best guidance. And with a happy body, you are able to have the confidence and the power, the willpower to continue the plan. So that's in my case, right? It can be very different for you, but that's what they said to me. Like this works for you. Exercise does that. Your meditation will do that, and therefore you can keep on receiving clear information. And communication is needed because I tend to go into something that I call my creational cave, where I don't watch my phones for days. I don't watch social media. I'm definitely not that active on social media anyway, with a judgment about actually needing to be more active on social media, right? There is this like, maybe I should also post my YouTube shorts on Instagram and on LinkedIn. Yeah, like there is this judgment voice that's like, I wish I should have done this and that and then and that. Again, part of that list. But I tend to naturally be creating without any distraction, just in the flow state, having a great time. I love it. I absolutely love it. But my mistake, and I have learned that a couple times the hard way, is I don't communicate anymore. I just stop talking about what I'm doing. So people have no clue what I'm doing. And once it is finished, I'm like, it's finished. And but then nobody knows about it. So then I then I am confronted by it. Well, if I would just keep people in the loop about what is happening, it would have been so much easier. I would have made my life so much easier. So they said these three things will make your life so much easier. Just be consistent in these three things, which might only take 10% of your day or 20% if I do a big session on all of them, might take 20% of your day. And the rest of the day, play. Don't care about the rules. Don't care about what you should do. Just play. And when I received that, I just was bam, just everything fell into place. And I understand also why I was downward spiraling. I understand what was happening. And since that moment, I still felt quite weak. And I wanted to sleep. This whole day, I wanted to sleep. I wanted to cancel this session that we're having now. I just wanted to rest. I just felt very exhausted. But the record said to me, don't sleep. They actually said, do exercise today and do some things that you need to do, like that kind of had some urgency to it, some errands that had some urgency to it. We know you want to sleep, but first make sure you do these things. And it was very hard to do these things, really. Like everything in my kind of comfort zone self just wanted to sleep and and just start again tomorrow. That was how I felt. But I, with a lot of difficulty, listened to them anyway, and my energy shifted. I couldn't have been so excited about this, I think, if I didn't do the things that they told me to do. So now, after what they shared, I finally start feeling the energy of upward spiral again. I start to have insight. I start to feel everything falls into its place. I start to feel grateful again for life. I have new life energy that I thought I would never get from today. Things start to move back up. And that's why I would love to have a conversation with you about this, about what happened. So if I would love to hear your thoughts too, but before I would love to make sure I distill what has happened for me and if we can make a little bit more of a general formula maybe of going from an upward to a downward spiral. Definitely one big part about all of this when you're in a downward spiral and you want to shift it, for me was to make sure to not have to do it and carry all of it myself. This meditation, I asked multiple times, can I give this to you? Can I give this heaviness to you? I can I be released from this? Right? Like, can you help me with this? I was just talking to higher intelligence a lot to make sure I don't have to do it all myself. There are some things that I have to do myself, especially things that I need to see or realize. And that might have been the second part. Take time to realize. Take time to understand what is the energy that puts you in this situation? So, one thing is you don't have to do it alone. You have higher intelligence that definitely wants to help you, but is working with a law of non interference. So, if you don't give them permission to help you, they will let you be on your own. You have to ask permission for it by, for example, help me. Just say help me or assist me or, let me help me see this, help me understand this, or help me carry this heaviness. Can you make this a little lighter for me? Whatever the request is, as soon as you give the request, you give them permission to help you because they are high frequency beings. They will not interfere with your experience without you asking. So that was a really big part of this. The second big part of it was actually to take time to meditate, even though my mind gave me all the reasons why I couldn't meditate. Oh, but you have to finish this and you have to, it was still in this expectancy. It was still wanting to complete this to do list. But the true thing that I needed to do in that moment was to take a break, to put on a meditation timer, and to just be in silence until I understood what was going on. So, to take time to see yourself, know that you're not alone, take time to see yourself. And as soon as you start seeing yourself, make sure you follow up on the lessons that you are extracting from that. And it was, and this that I think is the most difficult part. If it was a ship, let's say it's a ship, and the ship goes literally, there is this water tornado. I don't know how to call this in English. This tornado shape that goes down and the ship is moving towards that. And you want to turn around. You have to really put all of your force onto the steering wheel and go and go and go and go and make sure that ship goes around. And that is not easy. You might want to just flip it like with a fingertip, but for me, I really felt like I needed to go against the urge to go to sleep, go against I start myself feeling going into level like low frequencies that resonate with depression kind of energy. I felt if I would continue thinking like this, I would getting into a depressed state. So I knew I wanted to change, but everything in me just wanted to sleep. And luckily I got the records that just said, make sure you work out and make sure you do the things you need to do. And that was for me the and the other guidance that I received was start creating meditations every day. And that's what I started doing. So we have to follow up on the guidance, even though the guidance is opposite to what you feel like, right? What your emotions might want to like. Oh, I had so much. I just wanted to watch TV or sleep or numb myself. Like there were so many urges that had to do with this feeling, but I'm so happy I didn't do it. I had loads of moments where I actually would have given to this, but I'm so happy I didn't do this. So now I was able to turn that steering wheel into the other direction. So these three things are currently, I believe, the recipe for a turnaround. To repeat them, know that you're not alone. Know that there is higher intelligence that wants to help you. Ask for help. You don't have to carry this alone. There might also be other humans that are here to help you. So don't feel also afraid to ask to other humans, but make definitely sure you ask to higher intelligence. Second one was take time to truly see yourself and to discover what is happening. We cannot solve the problem from the same state it is created. We need to create some awareness. And the best way, in my opinion, to increase your awareness is meditation. And then finally, all the guidance that you receive from higher intelligence, all the guidance and insights you receive from meditation, make sure you put them immediately into practice. Follow up on the guidance. Don't wait with that. Don't do it tomorrow. Just do it. Just do it. And you will notice that your energy starts shifting very fast into a way happier place. Now then there's also making sure you keep yourself in an upward spiral. And I have the feeling that actually these three things keep on keep on being active there. So keep talking with higher intelligence. Keep taking time to see yourself and keep following up on the guidance. It feels like, yes, it's a formula for a turnaround, but it's also a formula to stay on the upward spiral. I'm just realizing that. So this is just what I wanted to blurb out. I wanted to open up to you. Let's have a conversation about this. And I'm really curious what you think of this. I'm really curious if you find, maybe you have some examples of this in your life. Maybe I'm missing something that you want to add to this. Right? Let's open a conversation. Feel free to continue this conversation by actually just going into the comments. I try to read every comment and I respond. I'm looking forward to see you there. I'm really curious if this resonates and if this helps you in going from a downward to an upward spiral. Don't forget to apply what you learned in this video to see if it truly works for you. And yeah, I really wish you to be in an upward spiral for the rest of the year. So may this video help you a ton, and I see you in the next one. By the way, if you want to be in the space where this is recorded, we are really talking about everything that contains how to live life and how to live in alignment with your soul, based on guidance, based on all of the faculties inside of you. Go check out here the Sacred Alignment Academy. It's such a wonderful space. And if you actually want to know what the Akashic records are, look at this video. I explain it all over there. That's how you know I got the guidance from what I was been talking about. So enjoy those videos.